Hey, what's happening? It's your brother in the footwork, DJ Cornerstone. And you're tuned in to the second half of the interview on Give Us the Works, the podcast where we interview various dancers, DJs, and producers. So y'all get ready as our guest finishes on up, telling us about they works. So I'm digging that socks hat, man.
Oh man, I'm a soccer fan. I don't know. I like a little basketball more than anything. But I grew up playing. I loved playing baseball when I was a kid. Like that was my shit at one point. I loved playing baseball at one point, but basketball was my love, my true love at one point. Before I was footworking, but it's like that's what it was. Before I was footworking, I was hooping, and I hurt myself hooping, and then like what made me get my shrimp back in my leg, I started footworking. I ain't gonna lie. That was crazy. That's why I tell everybody, I'm like, man, I can play. That's one thing I can play.
Yeah.
I cracked on my right knee. I used to play in like little tournaments and stuff, but I got bridged. I was short at that time. I was short and I tried to like do a layup over somebody and he kind of bridged me a little. So it's like I chipped the corner of my knee. So it was like it's like I always had leg problems, but it's like at the end of the day, to get my strength, my structure was like doing dribbles and all like that was my exercise. That was my therapy. So,
man,
yeah, I use footwork to the best of ability, bro. If I'm going through a problem, an issue or something like that, bro, I grab some headphones and be like, let me go dance this out, bro. Even my anger, I push the anger out through that. That's why I tell people, I'm like, I don't know if certain people, I'm like, you got to battle me when I'm like super duper happy, because you catch me when it's like I'm going through something or something like that, yeah, you gonna lose. You out there, but your ass gonna lose.
Yeah, man, you touched on something, man. A lot of people can use their talents to actually
because it's good cardio. That's the best cardio, low key, like, because it's structured cardio. We ain't gotta. It's teaching you how to manipulate, I say, music. That's what I like. With me, I learned how to manipulate the music. It's like I say, I'm born from a boombox, bro. I know sound. Very born from a boombox, like from the snares to I feel it. So that's what I'm saying. That's why my classes that's why I call them teaching from the soul.
Man, since you spoke on it, because I sure was about to ask, man, we could talk about your Zoom sessions, your Stepz classes.
Yeah, I say the classes, it's just basically, it's like, I don't really too much put them in as like I'm teaching. I teach people how to do movement to sounds, basically. That's my creativity within it, because it's like some of the moves that we do, you got to look at it. The only reason why they made up, like you can do dribbles to the snares, and it's like teaching you how to structure yourself within the music, because like you ain't got to sit there and force yourself as a footworker. Like as a beginning footworker, you ain't gonna sit there and be forcing yourself. That's why I had to learn about. That's what makes it being fluent. I say to make it look fluent and like make it look like it's just pure. Like you got it. That's what makes me so different from a lot of people. That's how I structure into like I'm developing everything in sound, the sound ranges.
Man, that's an interesting take on that, man. To teach, because I know you got a lot of folks who teach any kind of dance. They'll teach, okay, do this move and be on beat. Let's count off. I'm gonna teach you how to actually deliver it in the way you hear it. Like if it makes you feel like I like if you hear a one or something like that, how would you think like take that one sound and use it? Be like, all right, I can drag into certain moves and use that using that forward aspect, because it's basic. That's what I tell people also too. Footworker has no manual. Ain't no manual to footwork, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be a spiritual footwork. It's spiritual. You feel whatever that's what it is. Now, making it into where I'm somebody teaching you the basics and stuff like that. Yeah, you can do that. But how long you gonna teach them basics forever? Because the basics it wouldn't match some of the basics that people do. They won't match it don't match the music.
That's why I feel like it's just a repeater. It's like just a run on. It's a run on sentence. If you just sitting there, you just dancing and you're not on beat. You like, all right, he just doing stuff. Yeah. That's what this thing is, and that's what I said I know I would be more. Everybody with the shocking thing I say, if I was to do like a real boot, one of the all dance style events.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing about it, I noticed this about me performing with them in Real Bull events and stuff like that. Not saying it's that's how they think, but you gotta look at it. We're the entertainment and we're the style that haven't crossed that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
They got sponsorships. You gotta look at it. We sitting there. The arguments that happens within the footworking community. They have to look at it like, man, what's happening at the Real Bull is that you got the breakdance, the pop lockers, all this is universal styles. We're just tapping into making it to global.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's like it's by tapping to global, the history is not getting told, and the right ways is not being told. So, like what people call the Irken jerks now, is not what it was in the history of back then.
You know, I want to ask because I'm gonna tell you, I'm from Joliet, and we would pick up on moves, man, and not necessarily know what they was called. You know, we would go. Typically, we would travel to like Harvey or Dalton to party, and we see the moves and try to, do them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, man, do that move. So like Irken jerk, for the longest, I always called it footwork. Like the first footwork move, because that was the first like footwork move.
Now that's the thing about was we talking about when you say Irken jerk, what you talking about? Is it the actual which
See, I'm talking about now. When I was in high school, Irken jerk, we had two. It was, goddamn, I'm gonna get on up. It was one that was like this, right?
Thank you.
That was Irken jerk.
That's the Irken jerk.
Yeah, and there was a pop one too that was kind of like you.
Okay,
you
it landed into it. I know.
So, but I come back home. I moved to Alabama, and I come back, and I'm hearing this. Is
no, thank you.
Which I always called it as footwork.
It's basic. That's the trend. Ain't no name for it really. You got to look at it. All these years, everybody been doing it. Now it's the revamping of that. They revamp it to somebody else's stint, but you got to look at it. The true originators is these are the people that sit back and be like, no, they did.
Man, okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's one argument I argue somebody down to this day. I'm like, no. But that's the thing about it. It's the difference because guess what? The West Side will argue that down, and they would be like, hell no. Nah. South Side, they revamped it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's facts. They made it to the point, because this is the thing about it. I want to keep this as blunt too. I wanted to make sure it's blunt and told the right way. Now, you had what's going on is the battle of dancers and the street dancers. Which is, now the street dancers are the people that's like, all right, we just gonna bully the whole way now. Of the way the whole movement is. This new wave is bullied because of the fact that, guess what? Now, when they go to these Red Bull events, like I said, they have to dance. And that's why they lose, because they don't dance. You gotta tap into that element too. And that's why I said, people like me that don't go to it, I'm like, I go in there, y'all like, Stepz ain't never just did no breakdancing move, bro. For real. That's how they go.
Wait a minute. My son just did something. So you said they said you're not supposed to do the breakdance move. What?
They'll be like, Stepz, they're like, if I go out there and I'll be like, I'll go out there and I won't just stick to footwork. I will jump into that element because that's who you battle. And I can stand up with a pop locker because I'm not a pop locker.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm like. I'm like, that's what I'm saying. It's a way how you jump into it, because it's like that hood mentality. It can take you so far. It's good to have it, because it's still showing your what's name. But it's like it's a way of being professional too at it. Besides having that whole rant, we just gonna bully you. This is the way it's supposed to be done. That ain't real footwork. And when I'm battling you, like all my battles, I've been told this, that I dance too much. I'm like, Who ain't footwork and dance?
Hey, I might have to call brother Troy, brother Nebula 5 on this one, because you saying some stuff that he is. I'm gonna just say he's very passionate about.
Let me tell you this.
Full agreement with what you're saying.
Now look, that's another brother that gave me that option. Me and him did a video. It went over people's head.
Y'all did a video.
Yeah.
I think I missed this.
Yeah. It's on YouTube. Go to Nebula 5. It's Nebula 5. And you can say it's the first. Probably when he first started dropping videos, I was the first one.
Okay, man. Okay.
They sleep. This was. And guess when it happened? Right before the pandemic.
Word. Oh wow.
I've been cooking, man. I've been cooking. It's just that if a lot of stuff get thrown over, they look at it and they be like, "Oh, it's just," because I know me and him had the same talk. Yeah. We see the difference, and we sit back and they be like, we feel like they don't even know, like the street credit. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm saying a lot of people, if you don't take in heed of the other, I said this evolving footwork. That's what it's about. We have to evolve it. We need to stop worrying about them old battles that didn't matter. Ain't no record book for none of these battles. Can't nobody sit here and say, man, I'm 59-0. No. Because guess what? Everybody been baked. Even me. But that's the thing about it.
I know I have.
Can't nobody listen to them say this.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna sit there and gonna tell them a record that they lost or not. That's the egotistic stuff that's going on. Can't nobody, they ain't not gonna take no loss.
Man,
you gonna get your money's worth from this. You got me talking, bro.
Yeah, hey, cause you got me want to say some stuff too. One thing is,
it's true. Because at the end of the day, it's like, that's why podcasts like this, if you're gonna bring the truth to it, it has to be spread it the right way. Yeah. And it's how we doing it. It's humor within it, but at the end of the day, it's the truth. Because at the end of the day, we've been doing this craft. It became a craft, and it was low key. You got to understand. I was one of the people. My father used to say, "Man, that's a hobby. It's not gonna get you nowhere." Then I end up going to America's Best Dance Crew.
What'd he say after that?
He proud of me. You know, it's gonna change. He proud of me because even with my TikTok videos, my pop go on he comment on me. Yeah. I love what you're doing, son. And that's the most proud that I've ever seen to be. Because back then he was like, man, it's not gonna get you nowhere. That dancing ass shit ain't. That's what it was. I felt like how back in the day with Frankie Lyman and they was trying to make it and all that. Yeah. I've been called a ballerina so many times, then it's like that's being caught. And then I go back to the hood and people that see me, they used to be like, man, they crazy names like Thunder Thighs. He always dancing and shit like that. It'd be like that. But now when they see me, bro, I love what you're doing with the kids and all that. You gotta change the perspective.
There it is. Hey, I want to get back on what you just said about the egos, because that's one thing I've been really thinking on, because you are in the line of a number of people who said that's one of the problems, one of the issues within the footwork community. So I'm like, how do you help people to overcome that? And how do you teach people? How do you demonstrate? How do you show folks? For one, make people aware of, man, I got actual ego. Like people like that self-awareness. And then how to learn how to drop it.
I say, just to sum it up, bro. Honestly, we outnumbered. It's too many of them that's doing it, that got ego. So it's like, we're not gonna get hurt.
Okay.
Like when you got people like me, even like, I know I'm a name, but it's like, you got people that like, not even in the footwork community. You got people that is in part of footwork that's not even footwork. You got a tracksman some people look at him, he's very controversial. But at the end of the day, he's speaking his truth. You can't argue with that. And he's he's the godfather of the tracks, man. Like it's within the music. If that's what I'm saying, it wouldn't be for them, we wouldn't be doing it. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be another thing. Me and Trice Man working on something.
Yeah, right on, man.
I'm cooking too.
That's it. Always got to shout out to Brother Tracks, man.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Him is being a mega, and it's like the people that speaks the real, they the ones that don't get looked at. He don't get he be right. He don't get booked for a lot of stuff, but I understand because the people they think he's very controversial. But I'm like, you gotta have somebody in that room that's gonna do that. Because every plan that you think that's easy ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
Because guess what? If it's that easy, somebody gonna get greedy.
Man, I have one suggestion for that particular issue with the egos is, and you had touched on it when you said people ain't gonna say how many times they lost. And one thing with dance, man, it's, to me, in my opinion, it's really a judgment on opinion because everybody sees something different. Yeah. Like people that's watching.
This is the thing I learned too. If you out of sight, out of mind, you're not gonna get spoke on. But then when you come around, you're gonna get the D-riders, you're gonna get all that. But at the end of the day, I understand like where it come from because guess what? It's like, especially knowing like I'm comfortable at being a threat. I'm very comfortable at being a threat because it teaches me to be like, whatever they doing, I know. To me, I can try. I'm like, I ain't know, and there ain't gonna be no try. I'm like, I know I can succeed over there. Not to push nobody down. I still get credit. That's why I say I show love after every time I battle with somebody. I'm gonna show love. But it'd be like I tell people, it's a blink out process with me. I'm not gonna go out there and do something you seen me battle with somebody else do. Period. I probably do. It probably start off might look like it because it's the root. You always got that root, but at the end of the day, it's how you change the perspective. Our perspective it's been neglected. We got a lot of history that's from out west that haven't been talked about. There's people that out west you gotta look at. That's why the purpose of development, what I'm developing, is that to make it right. Instead of everybody fabricating all these lies over the years, like man, I've been cold all these years. And it ain't even about being cold. It's about what you bring, what have you brought to the table, and this is what you brought to the table, and who you, and what effect did it have on a lot of people. I stopped a lot. I stopped a whole bunch of violence going on. We went down to the town. Well, I remember this one incident. We was at the Bud. And it was getting late. We was leaving from the Bud. Now, Bud, there's a lot of people be down there on Bull sometimes when they get drunk or something like that. So I was like in amongst the crowd behind a lot of people. The other way, I see two guys walking up, and they was like, I hear them talking. They like, man, get y'all dancing from right here. Buddy pulled a knife out instantly. Now this is one of the rookie members that just like I'm taking them downtown. I step up, dude was like, hey, this Stepz, bro. Hey, don't you be footworking? Like, it stopped that. Just the recognition. They was like, bro, this Stepz, bro, that be footworking and stuff.
Yeah.
And they just run up on some, I'm like, no, this my group, bro. And all of it. They were like, yo, man, how bad, bro? We was gonna turn up, bro. We thought they was like some they lied. They was like, man, I ain't gonna lie, we was on Bull, bro. But it was like, Joe, seeing you, bro, that look like, I'm like, Joe, that just let me know. I'm like,
dang.
I've worked for ASL. There's a lot of backstory that people don't know. Like the work that I put in, I done work for ASM, West Side Health Authority, like community-based, like non-profit organizations that like give food back to the homeless people and stuff like that. And I did them years of doing that. Like, I've been through the process too of even I started from a company where I was the West Side Health Authority. I was basically doing maintenance, doing janitorial work, started from the bottom. The whole time we did one of the buildings that they got it now. I used to practice use that practice spot. I used to use that as a practice spot when I was younger. So they had a picture of the inside there, and that's like Nemesis was. Like, we started talking about House of Wurkz. That's almost 10 years. But when I made Nemesis, that was like that's almost 14, 15 some years ago. And the picture that is in there, like eight members of mine is dead and gone. And they younger than me.
Wow, man.
So seeing that, and I'm seeing a picture, then it was like seeing, that's when my main nemesis, I had my wife in it, I had Jeff from Main Attraction, I had Tempo, I had all the shorties, Bala son, Q that passed away, Wayne Arrow that passed away, Boogie and Tip, the two brothers that got killed on Laramie, they was a part of my group. And I'm like, I took a lot of losses all these years.
Yeah.
Being landed to Mikey, then Scotty, that's my cousin. It is like everything was stampeded at one time. So that's why I took like almost a year back from a lot of stuff. But I was like, now they done got me revved up.
Man,
so like, I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta keep putting the pressure on it, because it's like we're only gonna expand if somebody keep making that risk. And I'm like, by me only being that person taking that risk out west, I'm not saying I'm doing, not just me. When I say me, my whole ensemble as House of Wurkz. We be family based, and it's like anytime one do, we all do. So that's why, like, that's where the biggest support comes from, and that's like, I love that from everybody, even from Dawn, my wife Sharita, her cousin, and all of them that still believe in me. I love that still happens, because now that give me that energy and that burst, like, cause now like I'm really tapping it back into my getting the speed that I did have when I was younger. Like when I was 19, I'm stacked like in the last couple of battles I just had. I've been seeing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting back to them old ways, because I've been around that I needed that spirit around me.
I want to get into the Footwork Fridays.
Okay.
If you don't mind, because I haven't been able to make one just yet. Make out there.
That's the thing about it. I haven't even threw a Footwork Friday. The last Footwork Friday was Mikey's Memorial. That was the last one, because it was like I stopped battling him from after that. Now I say I didn't really push it again, but I say the next event that we probably end up doing is we've been combining doing the cage with the Styles.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to do keep that rolling. I think we were trying to do one. I think the 16th, I guess. I think that was the date that we were trying to do, the 16th.
For the next cage.
Yeah. And then we also too trying to pick a date that we gonna be start doing, like just our annual stuff, but just like right now, my aim now is to build a show, like build a showcase. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not too, I'm like I'm saying, I'm not stepping out the rim of the battle world. It's just that I feel like it's not gonna sit ill unless we find like a Red Bull to sponsor us for $10,000 and it's annually happening. That's the only way it's gonna excel for us, because now we have something guaranteed. So I'm like, in order to make something guaranteed, we have to do our own showcases. Cut that down. Cut that down. Yeah, bro. So until we start doing our own showcases, that's when, like, even bringing back the routines in the footwork and like just doing a footwork show. That's my aim. That's what I'm working on now. I'm trying to be to the point where it's like we make it. It's bringing the aspect of, even like you gotta look at it, I done tapped into so many ways with this footwork and thing. I do footwork is a classical music. Like, have you ever seen it?
I ain't seen this.
It's on Wildlife Camp.
Yeah.
Me and TJ was the first people to bring the whole element of footwork to classical.
And it wasn't a sample of a classical song. It was just straight y'all footwork.
It was the real classical music.
Straight up.
Me and TJ, I've been hitting them across the head different every time all these years, because it's like I always thought like that. Me, even with being with TJ, when we first brought the whole Heat Squad thing, it was like when I was with Heat Squad and I made Nemesis at the same time. Because I was low key, it was just me and TJ, so it was like I was the last person in Heat Squad at that time that was still actively dancing. So me and TJ took the whole thing that's how I got introduced into coming to Footwork Kings. I think that classical stuff made Lady Soul like, oh yeah, we need
right up. Oh man.
Because how that happened now with that storyline of that, I say I dropped out of school. I dropped out of college because TJ was like, man, so we need to change up the whole game, because he was like, I think he was going through his thing, because it was like with the Footwork Kings thing. I don't know too much about that, but I know TJ wanted to push more of the Heat Squad era. So I'm like, I'm with it. You feel me? I'm with it. So we had people like Lil Chemo. We had Bonnie. We had Crip. We had Squirrel. I mean, what's his name? KJ that passed. Rest in peace, KJ. That was our first brother that we really lost. AJ was like, he was a dope aspect because he was cold for Out West too. He had another. But it was that whole movement. We had them, Crip, Oreo. We had QC. We had a couple other people. And this dealing with all that in Heat Squad, it was me and TJ that kicked it off with the whole classical thing, bringing it back. So it was like it kept us still in the loop, because we was doing shows at churches that we were seeing what Footwork Kings was like doing at that time. We were like having shows at different places. We ended up like for while I can tapped into it. We started doing. We went to. I say it was the memorial for Michael Jackson that we did for him. We did that for While I Can. We went out to Indiana in front of like where Michael Jackson's house was at and everything. And his parents had a show out there for the community.
Dang.
So yeah, it was big, bro. It was like, and then it was like a big festival. We drove to 4-5 hours just to get out there and perform it. Because we was doing the classical show, but it is showing a different aspect. That show ended up seeing Lady Soul started seeing it, so then I ended up starting to have me and TJ brought it to the Footwork Kings. We tried to travel, we showed it, we did end up doing it at the gate, like little galas downtown and stuff like that. We were doing it everywhere. So I'm like, I'm seeing my work craft, but I'm like, I never was that type to be like, man, Lady Soul I love to death, because it was like, and when anybody else ever heard, like I'm speaking on this as me being and knowing her. Whatever anybody else said, I didn't get that treatment, or if anybody feel any type of way about her or anything. But she made sure like about me, because I was to the point I was like low key the last Footwork King. Me and J-Ron was the last two that was doing stuff with her.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's just this fact. So I said, me, J-Ron, I said, yeah, because we still like we pushing the African reggae until we was doing a fusion, a Footwork reggae fusion. So we was doing shows with her. So that was the last and of it. But it was like that experience that I got from her. It was like she put me into the business aspect, because it was like a lot of stuff. For even on the side, she's West Side native too, but that's one like, so she knew it and she saw it herself. And me and her sat there playing like, man, we need to try to get our own dance school out west, because that's what we need to push for. And it's still cooking up, but it's at the end of the day, it's like it's about this the networking. Like me, I'm very new to the networking in any aspect, even if it's not nothing that's gonna benefit. I'm like, I just at least want it to be effective towards somebody in a good way.
Yeah.
Even if it's this, I tell people I love to do a mentorship at schools and stuff like that, because I feel like that's how I was raised. Because I'm like, footwork truly saved my life.
Yeah. And I see that in you, man. You had your dance camps, Footwork Fridays, a number of things, and I see a lot of times in these clips as little kids, probably most of the time. And from what I could tell, because I did a little mentoring back in the day too. That's how I came across Pastor Phil. But when you're teaching dance, it's always that opportunity to know, just in talking to you, man, that you also take that opportunity to teach life lessons.
Yeah.
Children, man. So you one to me. I just see that you as one that's doing it all the time.
Yeah, thank you, man. And then I'll tell people I don't do it and rub no in nobody's face because I'm like, I was raised like that because like a small story to be short. My mom is the reason why I'm like that because she was like in my elementary school. She was the pom-pom coach. So watching her win championships for my elementary school to see how much everybody loves her. They like, oh, Miss Gregory. My mom was like a dance dedicated. My father too, but it was like we went through that, but it was like through our little what's the name? But I learned that my papa was like he wasn't showing me breaking for no reason, and like he was showing me all these movies and showing me like that's like anything that's gonna make me enhance myself and try to make myself better. That's what it was.
Oh man, yeah.
I did them like my mom and my dad. Like I grew up watching them. They was jacking at that time, so you feel me? And they was good at it. I'm like I used to jack. They used to be in the crib. Everybody in there. Yeah. So I came in there and watching in that era. So it's like I'm fully based into the real atmosphere of the dance world because it was brought to me like Michael Jackson and just like if any other R&B artist, I choose R&B over anything because it's like it's very captivating because at the end of the day it's showing the uniqueness. Like a lot of it, I look at the rap and even with old school rap, I love it because it had the conscience to it.
Come on.
That's like if I'm a EMPMD. I love Common, Boogie Down. Like I know it all. Slick you better like when real rapping was happening. You feel me? It's like I don't take it away from what's going on now, but I see like my favorite. I tell people this. I like another person I refer myself to is being like. I'm literally for the footwork industry. I feel like I'm Lil Wayne too.
Okay.
Because I've been in it since I was younger, and also it's like over the years I got better with the greats, and it's like every time I could be on anybody's feature.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going at first with that analogy right there. I see now. Yeah, but
it's like I can deal with it because you got to look at it. I'm very witty. And I think footwork, and I don't look at it as one dimensional. I really think 3D is into it. Like I look into it like it's a multiverse. Like, all right, I can change this. I can manipulate this. And then like when people ask me certain moves I do, you're like, I'll trace myself in certain moves, and you be like, whoa, that's just the analogy of knowing I can move my body in that way to that speed. And then catching it like that, and I stick on to it. I'll do the move twice just to let you know. You need to see what I just did. I'm gonna do it. Let me show you. That's just how witty I am with it. But it's like at the end of the day, that's why I say I'm like the people's. I don't call myself no go until my people tell me. So it's like I want to put that impression on my people first.
Yeah.
I see we only got like 6 minutes. You got anything?
That's over. I didn't know you could see the time.
Yeah, it come up with it hit 10.
Yeah. All right.
Well, 9.
You know that. That's cool. Can you see all the stuff at the bottom too?
Like the screens and stuff like that?
Like where it says like the microphone, video.
Yeah, I see all that.
Straight up. Didn't know.
Yeah. It's that right where it says, because I know when it's recording, it does that.
Yeah. Okay. So, hey, what you just said too, when you said, I'm not going to say I'm the GOAT, I'm going to let others say that I'm the GOAT. That right there is a dope tip on how to come against or how to curb out the ego. Yeah. Because I know, like, say Jesus himself said, don't take the important seat, take the lesser seat. So that no one comes and say, Gabe, get up out of the seat because I got this important guest.
Yeah, because
you take the humble seat.
Yeah, because being humble and taking that route, a lot of people, they look at it, they're like, that's the people that's gonna still be the long lasters. The long lived people that's gonna endure in this whole thing. That's why I said out of anything that I've been part of, I was the last person out of it. Cause I'm like, I stayed to my loyalty. Cause even like with the whole, when I made it to Footwork Kings. I was like, I was sticking it out. And when I saw everybody else falling from it, I stuck it out because I'm like, regardless of anything, I'm like, I gotta develop my own path. Regardless if they was right or wrong. Like some people left for a right reason, some people left for a wrong reason. It's not my business, but that's the thing about this whole scenario. People need them, man, they business. Stop being egotistic about something that is irrelevant. Like all these battles that I'm seeing that everybody be like, man, I told them up. I'm like, yeah, but do you count that as how many people you beat in that group? Or did they tally it up at the end and be like, yeah, put it in the books? No, they don't do that.
No.
So until the end, I'm like, until somebody can be like, hey, we 1 for 1. Like I say, AG, me and AG is like, I say, like me and AG, we battled before. And I feel like we 1-1. Because it's like we did it on 2 big platforms. The first one was when at Reese Dilla, it was at a showcase. That's what makes it more something. Because it's like now you stepping into a realm. If you that's performance. Now that battle mentality, you gotta look at it. Now you gotta learn how to either when you battling somebody, and then in the streets, it's just like, all right, right there, it's that, right? You battle on stage, and you stuck there, and you just in that one spot. You gotta use that floor, right? That's what everybody expect because it's a performance. But that's what's gonna go over people's head. That's where the battle between the dance is that, like, I'm the last breeder of that, I think. It ain't too many people, like I say, the people like me in our generation. I'm not even in Troy's generation, but at the end of the day, Troy one of the people that he a hidden like jewel. You be like, man, dude, cold. Don another one too. Like. And the people they be like, man, Don don't like, you know, not knowing that he can get down. That's what a lot of people, and it's like that's we the assassins, man, the ninjas. We the ninjas out west. Ninjas.
Oh shoot! Well, check it out. Hey, if you got time, man, I can send you another link because I don't want this to cut you off.
I say more than anything. I say I know I got a couple of things I'm gonna do, but I say let's try to. It was like if anything, we can continue it tomorrow. I'm on.
Okay.
I said we can do another piece tomorrow.
All right, yeah, and we can play it by ear tomorrow too.
But then that's the thing about, like, it shows a genuine conversation. Like sometimes when you be having some people have interviews, they'll sit there and be like, I gotta script this out. And I love it when it's like that, bro.
Yeah, man.
You be like that because guess what? It shows authentic within your production, what you trying to do.
Man, appreciate it, man. Man, thank you. Yeah.
Well, always, bro.
So this is gonna be a series.
That's all.
This is gonna be a series.
More than anything, the next time Poppy, I'm like, we're gonna have Poppy get down before we can have I can have a whole group all in one where we can have the whole House of Wurkz where you get the histories of them too.
Oh, straight up. Oh man.
Hey man, this is we here.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna most definitely plugged in with Don. We gonna get
man.
all that.
Hey, cause Don, he taught me the kick step, and at that time I thought it was called the ghost.
Oh,
kick step. Yeah, Don. He was like, man, you thinking too much into it. Like, do this. But that's all that's yeah, man. Yeah, right on. Hey, appreciate you, man, bro. Hey, we gonna close out, man. Hey, you have a wonderful day, and I'll hit you up on tomorrow.
Hey, thank you, man.
All right, no problem.
All right.
Workout.
That's it for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all learned something. Please make sure that you look at our guests' website and social media and check them out, and that way you can support. We all need to support each other, right? But stay tuned, because on the second Wednesday of next month, we're going to have a brand new guest that's going to share with us their works. So y'all, until then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, love each other. God bless you, and footwork out.
Footwork out.